Hello, my name is Dan Anthony. I've worked in IT and the GRC side of cybersecurity for about 20 years. Was checking out the cybersecurity subreddit today and found this great post. Hello all. As part of my job, I review the security posture of suppliers. To speed up the assessment of their security, I often ask them to provide their ISO 27001 or SOC 1, 2, or 3 security certifications. Yesterday, I was speaking with a colleague, and we wondered what prevents a supplier from creating a fake security certification or report. Is this an issue you have encountered? What solutions does your company have in place to prevent being misled by a fake ISO or SOC security certification? Thank you. Awesome. I love this question. Firstly, there are some good responses already on this post that note you can often go to the security or the report attestation issuing organization and request verification that they did in fact give that certification or that attestation. If you're that concerned about it, yes, absolutely go there. But what I love about this question of what prevents a supplier from creating a fake security certification, report, or attestation is because it brings up this remarkably common friction point between cybersecurity and the management or leadership of the business they're trying to protect. Right? Which is this about cybersecurity or is this about compliance? And it is really surprising how often some minor, small little point like this becomes a very sore sticking point for us cybersecurity professionals. A lot of us have a bachelor's, master's, certifications, advanced certifications. We want cybersecurity. We want the art. We want to practice the art and the fun part of cybersecurity, right? We've been very well trained to look for vulnerabilities, and until we have proper documentation, signed in triplicate, sent in, sent back, queried, lost, found, subjected to public inquiry, lost again, and finally buried in soft peat for 3 months, then recycled as firelighters. Many of us working in cybersecurity very simply have zero trust. On the flip side, there are many business leaders who are looking at this as a compliance check mark. They're looking closely, right, at how much time and resources are demanding to follow these cybersecurity best practices above and beyond that compliance check mark is going to cost the company. Right? Above and beyond just saying, yes, we have received this SOC report from the vendor, we've reviewed it, and concluded that the controls appear to offer a reasonable assurance of sufficient cyber practices and the deficiencies noted are acceptable within our risk appetite. Yes, I did have to write that down and read that. And you're free to use it. But once you've checked that box, the business can get back on, both businesses can get back into the business of making money. And your management trusts you, the cybersecurity or compliance GRC expert who has likely seen 10, hundreds, or thousands of these reports, to look and know if there are any obvious red flags or that kind of fakery. Right? You have performed a reasonable investigation, due diligence, due care, and in the unlikely scenario that it matters, that there was some fraud committed, right, you have documented your review, you have committed that to documentation so the vendor can be held legally accountable for that fraud, and that the company and your insurance that you have in place can cover those losses. So the question is, who's right? As I was studying for my CISSP, Kelly Handerhan's videos helped me immensely. I'll throw a link in the description. Kelly makes this really obvious observation. It does not make sense to spend $50 to protect a $20 bill. Welcome to governance, risk, and compliance. Welcome to information assurance. So, back to the burning question. What prevents some supplier from creating a fake security certificate or attestation? And the answer is you. As the reviewer, that's your job to read, report, document your notes, document your concerns, and get that done quickly and accurately, right? While also noting that there are some cyber best practices that you may recommend as part of your concerns. All right, I gotta make sure I'm hitting all my points here, which allows you so you can quickly and accurately hit the compliance component while still playing the art of the cybersecurity, right? The cybersecurity art, and get both of those working together. And I know that a lot of people aren't going to be happy with that answer. Well, the answer is you. So what else will prevent outside vendors from creating fake security attestations? And I will say that the shortest answer, what would make it in their interest to never do that? If you work for a bank or a credit union that's reviewing vendor or SOC reports, then the answer is liability. And not just for banks and credit unions, but liability, right? Because your employer has to, you as the representative of your employer, right? You have to review it. You have to review it. You have to give your professional opinion on it, and you have to document that. And you'll also have insurance in place, right? So possible losses are covered, like I mentioned in the case of liability. So if there is deception, fakery, the outside company's incentive to not do that is that they will be sued into oblivion, right? If there's a breach that happens and that company gets breached, you get breached, you have the documentation that says, we did our due diligence, we did our due care, we checked into this as much as a reasonable person would, and that is not our liability. Right. So you can go after that company, you can call on insurance. And what's neat is that more and more lately, when that sort of thing has been happening, the folks responsible for making those decisions have been called up also on criminal charges. So that's a good reason to always document everything when you're being asked to take care of whatever within your organization, right? These are very fine lines to dance, but this is the job that we get to do. Thank you. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, or if I am flat out wrong or missed anything. And thank you for watching. Until next time.